Outside, people were clearly starving, yet these young women could sit at tables enjoying the same delicacies as the head of state. They ate 2 free meals here every day and even received wages. Could such a good thing truly exist in this world? Not at all, for these girls were not merely food tasters, but human guinea pigs testing poison for the Führer. The story unfolds during World War II, when the conflict had reached its most intense phase. To fuel that man's wolfish ambitions, Germany's internal resources were severely depleted. Its people lived in dire straits, many struggling to meet even basic needs. Rosa was one of them. Her parents were dead, and her newlywed husband was fighting on the front lines, his fate unknown. Having endured the ravages of war in Berlin, she made a desperate decision that would alter her destiny, leaving the city to seek refuge with her in-laws in the countryside. Unexpectedly, the next morning, a squad of soldiers arrived at her home and forcibly took her away. Rosa feared the worst had happened to her husband. Only after boarding the vehicle did she discover 9 other young women were also being transported. The commanding officer offered no explanation of their destination, and the women dared not ask. When the vehicle finally stopped, the officer led them into a school building now requisitioned by the military. After undergoing thorough physical examinations to confirm their health, they were led into a room where each found an exquisitely prepared meal before them. Believing this meal was meant to ease their nerves, they began eating without suspicion. Strangely, however, their dishes were all different, and they were forbidden from sharing. Once everyone had eaten their fill, the chef forcibly ordered them to remain seated for another hour.
Solo tra un'ora potremo avere la certezza che questo cibo non sia avvelenato.
Come avvelenato? Chi ci ha messo il veleno?
Only then did the women realize the meal had been a ruse. The school lay near the Führer's secret Wolf's Lair headquarters, and their sole purpose here was to serve as poison testers for the Führer. Upon hearing this, their expressions turned grave. Some began to panic and weep. Fortunately, the hour passed without incident, and none of them showed any adverse effects. Only then did the women temporarily relax. When Rosa returned home, she told her in-laws about the day's events. The elderly couple's immediate reaction was to urge her to quit such dangerous work. Yet in these war-torn times, securing 3 stable meals a day was already a blessing. Moreover, the military paid them 200 marks monthly, a substantial income for an ordinary German family. From that day onward, Rosa and several other women began tasting the Führer's meals daily. Days passed without incident. No one was ever poisoned. Gradually, their vigilance relaxed. After all, the Führer was heavily guarded. Enemies would find it impossible to slip poison into his food. Rosa and the others quickly grew close. Sometimes after meals, the curious women would pester the head chef with questions about what the Führer was like in his youth or his favorite dishes. The chef was always happy to share these little details with them.